Hello everybody, welcome to Amakhosi. Share this and like, comment, subscribe. Guys, welcome back. It's me again, it's you. We are back here. Guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going well for you. So guys, I just want to give you a few updates and probably speak also about the preseason, but we'll see where this episode is leading us. So first things first, I just want to get from you, and then I'll come back to what is it that I wanted to update you on. I want to get from you, I'll give you just a few seconds. What is the purpose of a preseason? What is the purpose of the preseason? And what are your expectations about preseason? What is your purpose? What do you think is the purpose of the preseason? And two, what are your expectations on the preseason as you are playing preseason matches or practice preseason matches? What are your expectations? One, I'm repeating again. What do you think is the purpose of preseason? Two, what are your expectations of the preseason games? I just want to hear from you. Okay, I'll come back to this. So, let me update you on what Austin Tlhobole says, and obviously you can see others, what are they saying. It's been confirmed. You saw on SABC, is it Molefe, the guy Molefe, he came with the news and said that, you know what, yes, indeed, Kaizer Chiefs have signed Arsenal Velebai and have signed Luke Batman, right? So, but now they were left behind. They didn't join the team. They didn't go to Netherlands, right? Reason why they did not do that, obvious. Kaizer Chiefs, inverted commas, Kaizer Chiefs are supposed to get or speak to their lawyers, find out what does it mean now that you have signed these guys, and Spurs are claiming that they are still their players. What does it mean? So, Kaizer Chiefs have lawyers, we know that, and we're not gonna go in detail regarding that, right? Now these guys being left behind and checking with the lawyers and whatnot to find out if they are rightfully Kaizer Chiefs players or they are on the right to sign with a new club when they are now coming from a club that is relegated. So they're still fixing out those things. And I would say this, that's the updates. I would say this, we shouldn't be bothered with what is happening. There's no one who sent Kaizer Chiefs to the court of law. No one sent Kaizer Chiefs so that you can go and account that there's no one. Why? Because this team being Spurs, they are an amateur team, right? Where it gets tricky is that some of the clubs then say, you know what, we don't want with the clearance. We don't want the clearance and all those things. That's why get tricky and messy. And but according to, I think it's the South African something board of players came out and saying that Kaizer Chiefs are on the right to sign these players. There's nothing that they need from Spurs. So we'll see. So as the matter is unfolding, as these guys are training on their own, let us wait and see what's going to happen. My worry, same with this guy that you just signed, this Preseason. My worry is that these players that you have signed, they haven't joined with the team. They haven't joined with the team. They haven't gotten to be used or be exposed to the coach's philosophy, coach's way of doing things, coach's they haven't been in his presence to know what type of a coach that he is and start having those interactions and communication and they haven't done that. And then therefore it means that the guys that are already there, they have an upper hand versus these ones. They have an upper hand in a sense that those guys who are there in Netherlands, they have time to rectify whatever that the coach will say that they must rectify. They have time to implement and learn what the coach wants them to learn. I hope you understand this. So, therefore, for these guys to be behind, yes, for various reasons, it's going to count against them. But also, it might not be the case, especially if the new guy, the older guys or the guys who have joined the team are not getting, or they're not taking the opportunities that they're supposed to be getting. Because the coach might come back and say that, you know what, on the wing, for example, as you saw yesterday, that pre-match game, that's why I didn't even record after the game. It's not a game that I'm taking serious, I'll tell you why. So the coach, as you saw today, that, you know what, we didn't have wing play. We didn't have wing play whatsoever. Whenever that we have the ball on the wing, and then we keep on playing backwards. If we're not playing backwards, we want to make silly passes. If not silly passes, we are making silly decisions, shooting on goal instead of passing, for example. Second half, wing play, it was based on the wing backs going forward, but there were no wingers playing. And now, we haven't seen some of the players playing. The coach changed starting 11 in the second half, changed it completely. All of the guys, it was a totally new team. But then there were still players who haven't played. Therefore, now going into the game that we are to play, I think we are playing tomorrow. Therefore, which are the players the coach that is to play? So for me, it's the players who didn't play at all. Guys like your Dotli, guys like your Duba, guys like your Lilepo. Who else didn't play yesterday? Who else? Remind me who didn't play yesterday. Yeah, but the guys who didn't play yesterday, those are the guys who are supposed to get the first 45 minutes. Sure. Here's my thing. Here's where I disagree rather with some of the people. There are already people who are coming out saying that Kaizer Chiefs must fire all those players. There are already players, fans, some of you, probably might be you, saying that Flava is not the player that we thought that he is. He's a cow, and we still need another striker, and therefore this guy needs to go. He's not the player that we thought. I'm like, wow. How quick are you? How quick are you to say that so and so aren't fit enough to play for our team? And this is preseason. Hence, I asked the question that I asked, that I'm going to answer. Hence, I asked the question that I asked. What do you think is the purpose of a preseason? And what are the expectations that you have for preseason? Let me tell you this. Preseason, the purpose, and I'll tell you my expectation. Preseason purpose is for the players to be together, right? Be at camp together, right? Be at camp together and expose them to different tactics, expose them to how other teams are playing, and then match to check where we are in terms of testing ourselves, right? Because we are playing European teams here. We're not playing any team. We're playing against European teams. Let's test ourselves and let us learn as much as we can. So that when the time that you go back at home, we are able to implement ourselves, and already we are at that level where we say, okay, you know what? Against the top European teams, this is where we are. These are things that we need to improve. These are things that they taught us. These are things that we learn from them, right? Purpose. Could be other reasons or purpose regarding the preseason. Also, other purpose is give players minutes. Give players minutes, as you saw that it was a game of two halves, in the sense that they even literally changed the starting 11. Altogether changed the starting 11, right? So you might find that the game that you are to play, the next preseason game, that they'll say, okay, let's play 30 minutes, divide the game into three segments, right? Where they'll play the first 11, play second 11, play the third 11, mixing the two 11s with probably those who did not start, like guys like your Dotli, for example, or Lilepo, and like to say, okay, let's then check which one is the best 11. Or we'll say, okay, this is the best 11 that we are to take to go to the league, right? And also, let us see the combinations and see if Tele, for example, how does he play with Ethan, or how does he play with with him touch. Let us see those things. Let us see different combinations, and let us see the fluidity of the team. Let us see how the team is moving. Let us see how fast the team moves the ball. Let us see how fast we get the ball, or we get the ball back from our opponents. Let us see those things. Okay, sharp. Now that you have seen those things, and therefore, when we come back to South Africa, as we play in the Toyota Cup, we're going to the tournament. Okay, we lost that preseason tournament that you played against Yanga last season. So therefore, let's do things different this time around. Let's go to win it so that you can encourage these guys and then take the momentum going to the league, because that will be like the last preseason game. So that's the purpose, as far as I understand, as far as I can remember now with my mind, like without really applying myself, but that's the purpose. So whether we win or we lose preseason games, it's a preseason season, right? It's a preseason season. Whether we win or lose, for me, it's a non-fact. For me, it's a non-fact. Why am I saying so? We lose a preseason game. Okay, let's start by saying that we win a preseason game. We win a preseason game, we win 5-0. We come back in the league, like our guys will be beating everyone. Come first 5 games, we lose all of them. Then what did we achieve? Nothing. So sometimes when you go to the preseason, or as fans, when the team goes to preseason, we need to think and say, okay, you know what? This is a preseason. It's like a training match, and there are so many things that the coach wants to achieve through this match. It's not the results. The results are not the end goal. If we win, sure, but if we win like with a big margin, that could sort of like blind the fans. So for me, I was disappointed with some of the things. Yes, I was disappointed with some of the things based on certain individuals who are old. Old, I don't mean by age, but old as in they've been at Kaizer Chiefs for a long time, right? I was disappointed with those things. But I can't then come back and say that so and so, they don't deserve to be in our team. There are combinations, there are playing with new players that they need to still learn how Flava make runs, for example, how Flava loves to receive the ball, how Flava, if he goes to the left, what am I supposed to do as the one who passed him? If he goes to the winger, as the wing, what am I supposed to do? So should I go inside? What am I supposed to do? Or should I open on his left? What am I supposed to do? Things like that. So they are to learn those things, how they want the ball to be passed and where they want to receive the ball, and the runs that the attacking players, like your number 10, for example, would want the strikers to make, your wingers to make. And how fast can they get into the final third? Things like that. They are to learn those things. So therefore, results are really non-factor, except when we are to look at, okay, sharp, so and so. Take this opportunity. It's your perfect time to take this opportunity. For example, number 8, because now Matt is not there anymore. Who is supposed, or who's going to raise his hand and say that I am raising my hand and saying that I'm going to take this position and make it my own? Guys like your Zwan, guys like your Mato, did they do enough? Are they going to do enough going to the new season? I don't know, but I'm hoping that they will then do something better than last season. Guys who did not get enough time, or didn't get time to play, like guys like Kozwan and Mato and other guys. Sure. My expectation is to see different combinations. That is my expectations, and to see how are they pressing, and to see how are they retrieving, or how fast they can retrieve the ball. And also, other than the striker, who's going to score? Those are my expectations. I'm expecting guys to raise their hands. Those are my expectations. I'm expecting them to raise their hands. And I'm expecting the coach to say, okay, sharp, you know what? So and so, I've seen enough of you. I don't have to play you, for example, for 45 minutes, for example. It's fine, I can sit you on this one because I think I've seen enough, and I think I saw those combinations with you forming these combinations and relationships. I'm happy with that. Let's see guys like your Khosi, let's see guys like your Hlongwane, for example. Let's see what can they bring as now they've been promoted to the new team. Those are my expectations. So as for you to go out and call the team names and say that they should be fired or sold, all of them, I know. I think that's too ill. I think that's too ill. But also another purpose of or what I'm or another thing that I'm expecting to this team, I think that they need to sit down and say that okay, sharp, we're still lacking in that goalkeeping department. Okay, sharp, we're still lacking in that striking department because guys like so and so and so are not giving us what we need. So this is linking very well with what I've been hearing, and now it's said that I'm hearing from another legend of this club. Kuna said before, he doesn't think that Vuma has learned enough from him. He doesn't think that Vuma, his mind is in the right state to be number one goalkeeper for Kaizer Chiefs. And I was like, last season I saw how he was performing, especially second half of the league, how he was performing, and for him to be dropped in that final of the Nedbank. And now Brian Baloyi comes out and says that Vuma is not number one for Kaizer Chiefs. He's a coward. I was like, wow. Sure. But I'm not going to look at the player as an individual, but I would say that in that goalkeeping department, we still need a number one goalkeeper. There's no defined number one goalkeeper. There's no defined number one goalkeeper. We don't know for a fact who's the number one goalkeeper. So therefore, for me, I still think that we need to go to this market. The market is still long far off in terms of it being closed. Still long far off. We still need to go and buy a number one goalkeeper. Not buying a goalkeeper, a number one goalkeeper. That's a keyword, number one goalkeeper. And then we need to make a decision with Ndwari. We need to make a decision even with Vuma and Peters. We need to make a decision as to who's going to be the second choice and who are we letting go. We need to make those decisions. Up front, we might have the personnel, the people. I think that we still need another striker who will compete with Flava. I still think that we need another striker who will compete with Flava. Duba doesn't have the enough experience. Obviously, one doesn't have. Morris, I don't think that Morris can be that guy who will bang in 10 goals this season. So therefore, we need a perfect striker. I still have to go to the market. So it's not based on the previous game, but it's based on the overall performance even last year. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. So let's not be quick to judge. I'm having expectations, and sure, you could have your own expectations, but I don't think that we are to be quick to make those decisions, to say and call people names. I don't think that's fair. So for now, let's support the guys. If we win, sure, let's win. If we lose, how we lose again is also important. Do we have players who, even in training and preseason, that you who like feel bad for losing? I would love to see that. I would love to see that. So guys, the updates was basically on Arsenal Velebai and Batman, and to speak about my expectations of the preseason games. Oh, and another update, probably some of you know already, some of you don't know already. God's Power apparently did not sign, and even if he had signed, Sundowns have exercised their option to sign this guy. So they've added a year, so therefore God's Power is not our play. He's going to Sundowns. Whatever that he did not sign with them, they exercised their option. So that's key. They exercised their last year that they have on him. So this could mean one thing or two. Could mean that sometimes already they hate us, sure. And rightfully so, he's their assets. They can exercise their option like we did with Matt before we sold him. Sure, we can do that. But it means that we need another striker. Because it shows that the coach wanted another striker, a second striker, in terms of adding new striker. So therefore, he needs to go out and add those numbers. So yeah, in terms of the updates, that's what I have now. Yeah, that's what I have, guys. I just want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the purpose of the preseason matches? What What are your expectations with these games? I want to hear your thoughts. I'm out, FC Amakhosi fan. Shasana, you love you. Please like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Take care. Cheers.